Perfect.
Yo! What is good? Sixers Nation, man. Welcome on in. That is right. Philly Take with RB. I'm RB. We have breaking news. James Harden opting out of his deal. What does it mean going forward? This is one of the biggest dominoes of the offseason thus far. Free agency beginning tomorrow. Trade rumors left and right. Breaking news. We'll discuss it all, man. You know how we roll. Hit that like button, man. Subscribe to the channel. Be sure to ring the bell, man. Shout out to the channel members. Oh yeah, we got it all going, man. We got it all going once again. Welcome on in. Philly Take with RB. I'm RB. Hit that like button for me, guys. Really helps out the channel. 200 in the building. What's going on, everybody? How are we feeling? How are we feeling? Wednesday afternoon, evening, and we have breaking news. We'll discuss it all. We will hit the phone lines in a little while. Get your thoughts and reactions to this breaking news. But as always, man, we will bring you the consistent coverage. We will be breaking it all down. Hope everybody is having a great day. Shout out to the people in the chat. Hayden, what's going on? Channel member in the house. We have Grimes, Sav, KK, Shadow, Chiquita. Guys, some breaking news, even some trades going on right now. We're going to discuss it all, and I'm excited to get your thoughts on this as well. Once again, hit that like button if you want to support the channel. Send a super chat. Check out the Venmo Cash App links down below in the description. Become a channel member. Show some support, man. We continue to break it all down. All right, let's go. So here we are. We're waiting all day. All day, man. They really had us waiting on this until 4:59:59. And then it went 5 minutes over. It went over. I was like, are they trolling us? Are they actually going to break the news? Today was the deadline for James Harden to either opt in or opt out of his contract. And we were waiting all day. And then at 5:05, Adrian Wojnarowski finally breaks it and confirms the rumors. James Harden has declined his $47.3 million option and will become a free agent. He keeps the possibility of negotiating a new deal that will deliver the Sixers roster building flexibility in free agency, including the use of the full $10.5 million mid-level exception. Now, there were some rumors earlier today about the salary cap. They said it could increase 10%. So this number isn't really locked in yet, but it seems like things are going up. And the Sixers now will have use of the exception. And we're also going to have use of the biannual exception. Here's a little bit more of a breakdown. Shout out to Kyle Newbeck. He says, from what I've heard in wake of the Harden news, the Sixers now expect to have the non-tax mid-level exception and the biannual exception and some wiggle room for sign and trades, but no strictly cap trades are expected to be made. Sixers will continue to hunt for players that they like. Now, my first initial thoughts on this, shout out to James Harden, okay? If you remember, after Game 6 of the Sixers and Heat series, what did James Harden say after playing awful? He said, I will be back. I am willing to do what it takes to help this team get better and to make us better as a unit. And this entire time, the last couple weeks, the last month, we've been sitting here and thinking, what will James Harden do? Is he going to opt in, which would hurt the Sixers cap situation this year, or will he opt out? Will he take a longer duration of a contract, a less annual value, pretty much a little bit of a discount in the current year and help the Sixers have more flexibility? And that is exactly what he did. What does that show me? James Harden is committed to winning. James Harden, at age almost 33 now, is sitting up here thinking to himself, you know, I want this. I want this team to get better. We weren't good enough. I am willing to sacrifice and trust my guy Daryl Morey to get something done. And so far, Daryl Morey has done an incredible job working with what he has, okay, working through this mess that he has inherited since coming to the Philadelphia 76ers. And now, not only has he traded for DeAnthony Melton, but him and James Harden came to an agreement where he's going to opt out. Now, this could be trouble down the line if Harden doesn't look the same, if he looks very bad, right? But as of right now, the Sixers now will have flexibility to get something done. And what does this mean? Well, it essentially means PJ Tucker is going to become a Philadelphia 76er. The Sixers now have use of the 10.5 non-taxpayer mid-level. So the Sixers will have room to sign PJ Tucker, and then by having the biannual exception, they're going to have room to maybe sign another piece or two. This is a perfectly executed offseason so far, based on what the Sixers have, based on where we sit at the current moment. Based on the options out there, I don't think you could have played your hand any better than you have right now.
Let's go.
If you are Daryl Morey. Like, this is working out well. Now, we have to wait on the PJ Tucker news, but it does seem, according to reports, as it has been building up for a couple weeks now, that PJ Tucker is going to be a Sixer. So you add that veteran presence, you add that tough dog type of player, you have DeAnthony Melton, and you're still going to be able to make some additional improvements. I'm happy with how this is working, man. I really am. And shout out to James Harden. You know, a lot of people were down on him. Obviously, he didn't play up to par, but now he has an entire offseason to go through the motions, get healthier, get better, and he's also doing what it takes to help the team get better. And I'm really happy about it, man. Juanita with the $5 donation. Thank you for supporting the channel. Appreciate everybody in the chat, guys. 400 plus in the building. Hit that like for your boy. We don't even have 100 likes. We should have 300 by now. Appreciate everybody being in here. Give me your thoughts to the James Harden news in the chat. Do you like it? Do you not? Give me some thoughts. We'll hit the lines in a little bit. Also, shout out to Albert for becoming a channel member. Show him some love in the chat. Welcome to the Fire Take Nation, the home of the hottest takes and the realest of the real.
Yes, sir.
Drop that yes, sir, baby. This is good news for the Sixers, man. This is good news for the Sixers. Now, a little more on this situation. Zach Lowe, NBA writer, says Philly using both the full mid-level and the biannual exception on free agents would peg Harden's starting salary somewhere between $35 and $38 million, depending on exactly where the tax apron falls, how much room Philly wants to preserve beneath a couple of other small variables. Just the little things you got to work out. Like I said, the salary cap expected to go up. This is the best way that things could have worked out for the Philadelphia 76ers. And I'm really happy that this core will be staying together. Now, we'll talk about Tobias Harris, Matisse Thybulle. Will one of those pieces get moved? That is a little more bleak at the moment, because now that the Sixers have room to sign PJ Tucker, you may not have to go out and, you know, trade a Tobias Harris and create room. You may not have to go out and trade a Furkan and a Matisse Thybulle together. Okay, so
Let's go.
At the current time, the Sixers might end up keeping this core together. They might keep Tobias for another year and just make improvements around the team. That's what they are doing right now. We know that the Sixers needed more depth. Of course, we need Joel Embiid to stay healthy. Of course, we need James Harden to play up to par. He's going to have to play a lot better than he did. But with the way Tobias was playing, with the way some of these shooters, you know, didn't show up in the playoffs, Daryl Morey is getting more athletic with a guy like DeAnthony Melton. He's getting quicker, and he's also bringing that veteran experience and a tough guy, a guy that Joel Embiid advocated for, literally by name, after the playoff series. A guy who out-hustled our team at the age of 37 years old. This is going well for Daryl Morey and the Sixers right now. We have Mars V with the $5 donation. Thank you for the support, my man. Says, all my issues with Harden are in the postseason. He can't handle the pressure. Well, at the current time, my question would be, what do the Sixers do, right? If James Harden was to walk, if they let him walk, what do we do? There are not a lot of guys out there. I know Bradley Beal a little while ago just, ended up opting out of his deal. I'm going to tell you something right now, okay? Bradley Beal indicated all along that his loyalties and wanting to see it through in Washington. Bradley Beal is not leaving the Wizards. He's never leaving the Wizards. He will sign a max contract, and Bradley Beal's not an option. So other than James Harden, you're looking at minimal improvements in the free agency class. I don't think there are any other ways the Sixers can go if they want to be in championship contention next year. They have to hope James Harden gets better. You have a guy who was a former lethal scorer, one of the best scorers in the league, a former MVP. You have to hope he can get back to himself where, he looked like that, a year ago? You have to hope he can get back to that. But right now, what the Sixers are doing is they're upgrading their depth and trying to set themselves up for the next couple years to hopefully be in that contention, to hopefully get over that threshold and get past the second round. So, yeah, it's just, this is a good thing that James Harden is willing to help the team out and sacrifice more. Juanita, welcome to the Fire Take Nation, home of the hottest takes, realest of the real. Welcome.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for joining the nation. Shout out to all the channel members. Let me see you in the chat. Drop those emojis, man. We have 500 people in here. Hit that thumbs up for your boy. We're breaking down all the news, telling you what you need to know. If you're just tuning in, James Harden has decided to opt out of his $47.4 million option and become a free agent. He will restructure a deal with a lower annual salary. I'm expecting that he gets probably a 3-year extension. That would be my guess. And I think that he will, do what's best for him, but also what's best for the team, right? So he'll take a longer deal for 3 years, more, guaranteed money in the end, but a lower annual value this year. I think this was the best route to go. He said it after Game 6. He is willing to help the team out. And that's kind of where we're at, man. Ping Boy in the chat, RJ, what's going on, guys? What's going on? Sean Fitzpatrick, Nick 21, all the OG, Circular Motion, Jess Rich. Guys, we're here breaking down all the news every single day. Free agency beginning tomorrow. I also have some other things to share with you guys. A lot of news going on around the league. By the way, there was just a trade as well right after this James Harden news broke. DeJounte Murray heading to the Atlanta Hawks. What do you guys think about that? DeJounte Murray going to the Hawks. I had heard some rumors, some rumblings. I heard New York, Atlanta. But did the Spurs get fleeced in that trade? I know it's a little bit of a sidestep here, but still, man. DeJounte Murray to the Atlanta Hawks. They now have a backcourt of DeJounte Murray and Trae Young in exchange for Gallinari, and I think it's 3 first-round picks and a pick swap. I don't know if that's enough for the Spurs, if I'm being honest. I don't know why they traded DeJounte Murray, man. That's crazy. Maybe the Hawks trying to shake it up, get back in contention. Seth Rowe in the chat. What's up, my man? What's up, my man? DeJounte Murray's a heck of a player. DeJounte Murray's a heck of a player. We will get your reactions very shortly, but a couple other players, a couple other things I want to make you guys aware of. Shout out to my guy, Austin Krell. He put it perfectly. James Harden asked out of Brooklyn, underperformed, and is open to taking less money on helping his team, and he was criticized. He was made to be the problem child of Brooklyn, while Kyrie missed more than half of the season due to personal decisions and tried to force the Nets into a max deal. By the way, a couple days ago when we last streamed, I thought that Kyrie was going to opt out. Now, being Kyrie Irving, as we have all learned, you can never truly predict what Kyrie will do. He put out an entire statement about opting back into a player option. I've never seen a player do that. He was saying about, being different in the world and making change, all this stuff, just to opt into a player option. So it looks like the Nets are going to run it back for this next season. But can Kyrie be trusted? I don't know. I don't think in the long term they're in good hands. But I was wrong about that based on what was being reported. But I'm still not too worried about the Nets. I'm really not that worried about them. RJ says Spurs should have took Simmons and the 2 firsts we offered. Well, now they're stuck with Gallinari and 3 firsts. I don't know what the Spurs are doing, man. I don't know what the Spurs are doing. But in terms of the Sixers, man, I feel good about where we're at. It seems all but likely that PJ Tucker will be signing a 3-year deal with the Sixers. I'm sure there will be some non-guarantees on the back end of that deal. But for the Sixers to have access now to not only the mid-level, but also the biannual exception, which you can use every 2 years, and it just gives the Sixers more flexibility. And, you know, I think it depends what the actual figure will be, but that'll be another player, especially based on who's available in free agency. And we've broken that down on the channel. You know, the Sixers are going to have some flexibility. They're going to be able to add probably another player, maybe 2. And that's what I've said all along. When we traded for DeAnthony Melton, I said we need to add 1 or 2 more players. Well, if you add PJ Tucker and then you add another player, I'm feeling really good about where this Sixers team is at. Like I said, James Harden needs to play better. Joel Embiid needs to be healthy. Those are the main 2 things. But you add a little bit of depth to this team. You replace some of the guys with guys like PJ Tucker who have been to the big games and won. I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. Now, a few other things before we hit the phone lines, okay? Couple free agents that will be available that I think the Sixers need to take a look into because there's a lot of news going on right now. And like I said, we've broken it down by position. And shout out to all 600 in the chat, guys. Hit that like button, man. Also, follow the Instagram page at Philly Take with RB and follow me on Twitter at RB Philly Take. But yo, look at this, man. Look at this. So before the free agents, this was also a rumor earlier today that Sacramento was a possible landing spot for Tobias Harris. Like I said, I don't know if we're going to have to make a Tobias trade now. According to Kyle Neubeck, we may not move any of the core. And the Sixers haven't had a consistent core like this for multiple years in a row for a while. For a while, man. Carlos says, salute, I don't get the notifications. I missed out on lives. Hey, man, make sure the bell is rung, and if it's not working, unring it, ring it again. Sometimes it acts weird. But, yo, if Tobias Harris is to get moved, I believe it would be some type of a 3-team deal. But I just don't know if they're going to move him now that they have this flexibility. If they do, I think that the Sixers would be looking to get better in the future, but also in the current year and have more flexibility. But I don't know if they're going to make a move now. I don't know. But anyway, a couple other guys that I saw today. And also, this was another report saying that Matisse Thybulle is gauging interest from Portland and Dallas. But again, don't know if that'll happen now. A guy that was deemed untouchable months ago, I don't know if Daryl Morey's willing to move that guy. I think he's definitely been shopping him, but based off where we're at, based off getting James Harden to take less money, you might not have to part with Thybulle. But he has to improve. He has to improve. There's no doubt about it. Anyway, here are some of the guys. So Bobby Portis, this was interesting. Declining his option and entering free agency, unrestricted free agent. Now, what do you guys think? Bobby Portis, I don't know if the Sixers would have room to sign him. The answer is probably not, since they will sign PJ Tucker. But if there was any way Bobby Portis would take a bit of a discount and the Sixers could get their hands on Bobby Portis, that would be, if they ever added PJ Tucker and Bobby Portis, that would be the craziest set of moves. Like, I mean, that would just put us into a different realm. But I don't think we'll have room to sign a guy like Bobby Portis. Shout out to all the new subscribers as well. 640 in the chat, guys. Hit that thumbs up. Appreciate everybody being in here. Anyway, a couple more realistic guys that we got news on today. The Sacramento Kings declining to offer Dante DiVincenzo a qualifying offer, which will make him an unrestricted free agent. There's a guy I talked about in one of the free agency videos, man. Villanova product. A guy who, you know, won a championship. I don't feel his full potential has been unlocked. Hey, maybe a guy you look at, you could get him on a cheap deal and sign him to a multi-year deal. Guy to definitely keep your eyes on, man. I'm a big fan of Dante DiVincenzo, especially being a Villanova guy. Definitely somebody that I'm interested in. Also, Lonnie Walker, not expected to return to the San Antonio Spurs. And I didn't know this, but he's actually from the Philadelphia area. Not sure what kind of deal he's going to get in free agency. But again, another guy who could put it on the floor. who could provide some depth, bring some athleticism. Maybe you look at a guy like Lonnie Walker. These are the types of deals. These are the types of guys you're going to want to look at in free agency. I don't think there's a lot of big names, but there's a lot of just gap fillers, you know? So Lonnie Walker, definitely somebody to keep your eye on as well. The New York Knicks taking calls on Cam Reddish. Now, they were in the DeJounte Murray sweepstakes, and obviously they did not end up getting him. So, you know, I don't know if the Knicks are going to part with Cam Reddish. They seem to be going a little bit younger. They have that whole Jalen Brunson thing going. But Cam Reddish never really fit into the Knicks' style, I guess, into their lineup. And if Cam Reddish is available, I think he would be a really underrated piece that the Sixers could try to go out and pull off. I don't know if we have what it takes to get him, though, via trade. But Cam Reddish is, he can ball, man. He can ball. Another guy, Malcolm Brogdon, with the Knicks and Wizards making moves at point guard. Malcolm Brogdon could be on the move. Don't know if he's really the right fit now for the Sixers, but a guy to keep your eyes on. And once again, Bradley Beal, I believe, will sign a max with the Washington Wizards. And I don't think he's ever going to leave Washington. He declined his player option, but as Woj says, he wants to stay in Washington. He's loyal. He loves it. Okay? So now the Sixers need to address the wing position. You're looking at maybe a guy like Cam Reddish. Another guy I still like, TJ Warren. Not sure what he is going to get in free agency, but could the Sixers pull off a guy like TJ Warren? If they ever sign TJ Warren, maybe using the biannual exception based off the fact he's coming off a tough year with an injury, and they get him at a discount on a one-year deal, could you imagine TJ Warren in the starting lineup, PJ Tucker coming off the bench? The Sixers have some options now. And once again, shout out to James Harden. Joel Embiid wants him here, and he's willing to do what it takes to get better. All right, man. Let's go to the phone lines. What are your thoughts on the James Harden news? If you want to call into the show, 508-924-3784. Once again, 508-924-3784. We're breaking down all the news. 660 people in the house. Hit that like button for your boy. We'll continue breaking it all down. Be sure to subscribe if you're new, man. Appreciate everybody being in here and supporting the channel. Let's go to the phone lines, man. We'll go to the 267. 267, what's going on?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on?
This RB.
This is me. What's going on? What's going on?
Yo, what's up? Yo, I wanted to know what you think about the do we have a chance to get Bradley Beal?
No, not at all. Not happening.
You don't think so?
Nah, he's signing with the
How
Wizards,
about,
man. He's re-signing. He's re-signing with the Wizards, I believe.
What you think about a backup center for Embiid?
What'd you say? A backup center?
Yeah.
I mean, I think we're gonna go with the young guys. That's what Daryl Morey's been saying. So,
You don't think we got a chance to get the guy from Phoenix?
who are we talking about? DeAndre Ayton?
What's it? Yeah.
Nah, it's not happening, man. Ayton's looking for a max.
Oh, okay. Thank you, man. I just let you know I support your channel, man. I just wanted to call in and talk about those two things.
Oh yeah, thanks so much, man. Appreciate the call. All right, we're going rapid fire. We got my guy from the 843. Yo, shout out to the chat, man. And if you're not following the Instagram page, make sure you follow it at Philly Take with RB. We got my guy from the 843. The chat said he sounded like Charles Barkley's twin. So that's what I'm gonna call him, man. Charles Barkley's twin from the 843, man. Let's get him on the line, man. 843, what's going on?
Charles Barkley's twin from the 843, man.
Hello. I hear the stream in the background. Yo, 843.
Hello. I hear the stream in the background.
Going once, going twice.
Yo, 843.
Yo, what's going on? Yo, turn the stream down in the background, man. Hello. Going once, going twice, and he wasn't ready, man. Charles Barkley's twin wasn't ready. All right, man. You guys got to be ready when you get called on, man. We got a bunch of people calling in. Give your takes. What are we feeling about this James Harden thing, man? What are we feeling about this James Harden thing? Let's go to 609. 609, Daniel. Daniel, what's going on?
How you doing, sir?
Hey, what's going on?
I'm living the dream right now, man.
Awesome. Awesome. How are we feeling?
So I'm feeling pretty good. So some free agent. How are you feeling about Gary Harris out there, man?
Gary
For the
Harris. Think he's going to be a little too expensive at this point.
You think so?
I do think so.
So who are you thinking from a small forward perspective, or do you think we put Tucker? If we keep Toby, do you think we put Tucker in the small forward spot?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Tucker will be the 3 or the 6 man, depending on who we get.
Yeah, that's true. But how are you feeling about this, man? This is
well, that's what I'm asking you. How are you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good. You ever see that? You see that meme? With LeBron in the pool. This is my life.
Yeah.
That's how I'm feeling right now, man.
All right.
Would have thought we got Ben Simmons out. We got Harden in. Team player takes a pay cut.
Yeah.
So that we can get players.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah. Hey, I like it, man. I like.
And they said the Nets won the trade.
Nah, the Nets lost the trade.
That.
They lost the trade, man. Shouts to the caller, man. Look, guys, I need y'all to call in and give me your takes, man. I need some fire takes. We got guys not answering the phone. We got dudes asking me questions. I want your takes. Let's go, man. James Harden declining his option, becoming a free agent, taking a pay cut, helping out the team. How do we feel, man? How do we feel? Let's go to my guy, man, Seth M. Rose on the phone line. Seth, what's going on, man?
Yo, what's going on, RB? How you
What's up,
doing,
Seth?
man?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing well, man. Doing well. So I just wanted to ask a quick question, if you wouldn't mind.
Oh, yeah, please. Go ahead.
So what does this mean with Harden now? Does that mean that we have about some of his salary open now, or?
Yeah, so it means that we will have the full use of the non-taxpayer mid-level, around 10.5 mil, as it says. We'll also have room for the biannual exception. So we're gonna have more flexibility to add another piece or two, probably a PJ Tucker and another piece.
Okay, I got you. You know me, bro. I just know ball. I want to get in all the ins and outs and all that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah. So I just wanted to ask one more thing. Do you think that now? I know that you're saying he looked skinnier and all this, man. Do you really think that this guy, at his age, and just the background we hear about him, he likes to be out, not really take things seriously.
Yeah.
Do you really think this guy had the chance of doing it? Like, what's your percentages of this Harden having a chance to have a good season? And I'll just leave it off with that.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate the call, man. I think it's unknown at this point. I think you have to hope and pray that he comes back fully trained. I mean, I've been seeing videos of him, working on cardio, working on his body, but really, will that translate, to the court? I mean, we've seen a guy before shoot jump shots on videos, and it didn't translate. So really what we have to hope for is that, Harden is willing to come back. He's willing to work hard, work on his body, get in the right shape. Again, he doesn't have to be Houston Harden. He doesn't have to be that guy. He can just be a smart player. He can be a contributor. He can let Tyrese Maxey take the reins as well. If they stay healthy, man, I mean, and if Harden looks like any resemblance of his former self, if he can work on that catch and shoot, this can be a very good team. But I think you have to wait and see. I don't know if we can predict it. Because again, that hamstring can linger. His body may not be in the best shape. So I don't know. I don't know, man. All right, let's go back to my guy from the 843. 843, what's going on?
I don't know.
Hello.
All right, let's go back to my guy from the
843.
843.
What's going on?
What's up, man?
Back to my guy from the 843.
Turn the stream off in the back.
What's going on? what's up, man?
Hello?
843.
All right, he wasn't ready. He wasn't ready. Come on, guys. You got to be ready. You got to be ready when we go to the lines, man. Have too many people calling in, trying to get their thoughts on this. Too many people trying to call in, man. All right, let's go 843. What's going on?
Yo.
Yo, what's going on?
Ain't nothing, man. Oh, man, man, I feel like seeing the Johnson Morey and Tyrese Halliburton both in the Eastern Conference now is really going to grind my gears for a couple of years now, man.
I understand it.
Knowing that we probably had a real chance of getting them during the last off season, but we can course correct with signings with Lonnie Walker and maybe trying to get Lonnie Walker, those type of players, like you said, DiVincenzo, and definitely Cam Reddish giving him some real burn.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, just I was never really a fan of Harden, just on the side of he kind of wilted in the playoffs, but he's here now, so bring him back. Let's try to run it back.
Yeah.
I also believe we have to the key to a lot of this and our success going forward is letting Maxey be the true number 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
We have to sit down, talk to him, and, hey man, you are number 2. Hell, you might even be our 1B almost. At times you'll be our 1B, and B will always be our 1A, but you'll be our 1B at times. We have to really settle in and just build a team around those 3 and just keep going forward. Beal is a pipe dream that ship has sailed. I would have loved a backcourt of Tyrese Halliburton and Tyrese Maxey. We would have been straight for years upon years, or even Murray. But you can't live in the past. You got to keep moving forward. And even Tobias, man, I like Tobias, but that contract is a bit much. I think he could be a piece on the championship team, honestly. But that contract really kind of holding us hostage. Now, if we can build around, the 4 of them, I don't see how, but maybe if that's what Daryl Morey is for, to work his magic. If he can do that, and I think we really can do something.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think that, once again, I think Daryl Morey has inherited this mess, and he's doing what he can little by little to try to get it better. Now, again, there's risk with everything you do, but this is what I see as the best alternative right now based on our options. And, he's going to have to work it out. He's going to have to figure things out. And he's got to hope his guy James comes back ready to go, man. He's going to have to hope his guy comes back ready to go. Let's go to the 609. Bridgeton, what's going on? 609. Hey, what's going on?
I think James Harden is the best thing possible for this team by opting out.
Yeah, I agree. It's the best option.
Yeah. I feel like we can get probably like 2 more people, probably like Lou Dort and people talking.
Yeah, I think Morey will make something happen. I think we'll at least get another player that can contribute. But Harden opting out is surely the best option financially, and it shows he wants to win. So.
Yeah, I find this out for the first time. I'm like thinking in my head, let's effing go, because we need money. We need the money badly. We need to get better people.
Yeah, I mean, when you come out and say that you want to do what's best for the team to win, right? I mean, it only makes sense that you're willing to take a little bit of a pay cut this year and help yourself out, in the future as well. So, I mean, I think it shows he's committed. He wants to get to that championship, right? He's won the MVP. He's won all the awards. Has he really gotten, everything he wanted? Well, he needs to win a championship for that. So, I think he's doing what's best for the team.
Yeah, and I think this is going to lead us to maybe the conference title. I don't think the NBA finals, but maybe the conference finals.
Yeah, I mean, that's the next step, right? You have to get over that bump. So, I mean, we just got to take it one step at a time. But, you know, it's time. You can't get bounced again in the second round. You can't get bounced again.
Have you been hearing the rumors about Drummond re-signing with us?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that it's going to happen. I think Drummond's going to get more of a starting salary. But would I take Andre Drummond back? Absolutely. Absolutely. There's no way I wouldn't.
He's basically played great center minutes behind Embiid last year. He's a starter center, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he'll get a starting job somewhere, but yeah, I would take him back for sure.
I agree with what you said about Bradley Beal because there's no way Bradley Beal comes to Philly because he's so weird to watch that he's going to resign.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to leave. I'm done fooling myself into that.
Yeah. What we can't fool ourselves into is we're going to get PJ Tucker by this.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to get PJ, man.
Harden just needs to play better. That's all. We just need better production out of Harden every minute goes in.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, man. I hope he does play better, and he needs to. That's really one of the biggest things that this team's success depends on. You know, he's got to be healthy. And if he doesn't, then this contract is going to hurt us in the future. But it's a risk that you have to take. You gave up assets to get him. You have the team now. You have the core. You're trying to do what you can to add additional improvements around. You got to make this team as good as possible. And we know we're going to be a good regular season team. Of course, we have our concerns about Doc Rivers and guys like that, right? We want to get past the second round. If we get bounced in the second round again, I mean, you just can't keep going through that, man. 4 times in the last 5 years. You cannot keep doing that with this core. You have to keep it going, man. So, see how it goes, man. See how it goes. All right, we got a bunch of people trying to call in. Appreciate everybody in here, guys. Hit that like button. Let's get it to 300 likes. Hit that like for your boy, man. Appreciate everybody being in here. We're breaking down all the news, talking about it all, man. All right, let's go to Matt. Matt916. Matt, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, man?
What's up, Matt?
Yeah, so, I mean, as far as Harden goes, in that post-game press conference, I was, for Game 6, when he said what he said about doing what it takes and, you know, being here, I've been kind of nervous this whole time, like, are you actually going to put your money where your mouth is?
Yeah, true.
And when he did it today, it's a great feeling. Because now, I mean, I understand the reservations about PJ Tucker and his age, but I think you alluded to it recently. Third year is probably not going to be guaranteed.
Yeah.
And if for some reason he just falls off a cliff, he certainly didn't look done when he played us a few weeks ago, a month ago, whatever it was.
Yeah. I mean, the thing that I don't get, man, is like, you know, people keep complaining about PJ Tucker. I feel like this is a common theme, right? We complain, but what are the other options? Like, I haven't heard any alternative that is like better than PJ Tucker based on who's available, you know? Like, I haven't heard a
look what Torian Prince. Torian Prince just got $8 million a year.
Yeah, exactly.
The wing market's really bad this offseason.
Oh, it's terrible, man. Terrible.
And your all franchise city favorite player has literally dropped him after a defeat.
Yes, exactly.
And he has the friendship with Harden, with Morey.
Dude,
he brings everything that we've been complaining about, and he's replacing Danny Green, who's not exactly a spring chicken either.
Right.
I don't have any problem with him being in the starting lineup. People are questioning the fit if Tobias stays. All Danny Green did is stand in the corner, which is exactly what Tucker's best at on offense anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
And he can actually do a little bit more with the ball.
Yeah,
Danny Green dribbles the ball for, you know, like holding our breath.
one of the best catch and shoot guys in the league last year. A guy who's going to play better defense than Danny Green did, is a little bit quicker still. And just a straight dog, man. I mean, that's what we literally asked for at the end of the season. And then we get presented with that opportunity. We get presented, like you just said, with a guy that is familiar with James Harden, is familiar in a Daryl Morey team, and yet people don't like it. But I haven't heard any better solutions, you know?
There are no realistic ones. And even if next year I don't think he's going to fall off a cliff, like I said, like next year, but even if he does, and presuming that third year isn't guaranteed, he'll basically be an expiring contract next year.
Exactly.
But they'll be able to trade because he's only going to be making $9 to $10 million. It's a movable contract. So he's a no-brainer for me. Yeah. And are you really going to like penny pinch over 7 to 8 million instead of 10 million and potentially lose him?
Oh yeah.
To a team that you're going to be trying to compete with in all likelihood. It's going to be Milwaukee or it's going to be Miami.
Let's go.
Sense to me.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Appreciate the call, Matt. And you're exactly right. Just like the Danny Green contract, right? Even if PJ Tucker doesn't play well in the second year or whatever, right? He's a guy that you can use as a salary match type of contract, just like we had talked about with Danny Green. Same type of way, man. It's a guy you can match a contract. I'm sure somebody would be willing to take a PJ Tucker off your hands. And he's going to be a guy where, you know, in January, in the middle of the week, he's going to shoot 1 for 10. People are going to complain. But when we get to the playoffs, right? We've had guys that can produce in the regular season. When we get to the playoffs and you need that continued toughness, something we literally lacked game after game, and they said it out loud after the series, PJ Tucker's going to bring that. He knows now what it takes to play with a great player, to win a championship. I mean, it's the best move the Sixers can make this offseason, and having that tie with Daryl Morey, I mean, it just makes too much sense. And this whole time, Daryl has been trying to maneuver the cap and get things done in order to make that happen. So, I mean, it just makes sense. Speaking of which, right, we were talking about Danny Green, and we were talking about that whole deal and everything. And a trade actually happened today. By the way, shout out to Seth M. Rose with the donation, man. Appreciate it. Says, pray all stays well. Back to work I go. Stay up. Seth, appreciate you for tuning in, my man. Shout out to all the channel members. Great call from Seth. He says, hit that like. 500 people here. Guys, hit that like button, man. We're breaking down the news as always. We'll be covering everything. And we're giving you the coverage that you need, man. But anyway, a trade earlier today. Denver traded Will Barton and Monte Morris, guys that we potentially looked at, right, in a Danny Green swap. And obviously when Danny Green got traded, most of the hopes of the Sixers acquiring a guy like Will Barton were down the drain. But this trade happened earlier today. And hey, I mean, you know, like these are the types of moves that are happening this offseason. It's not anything over the top. Like, it's role players. It's gap fillers. There's not a lot of big names out there. Like this trade, Monte Morris and Will Barton for KCP and Ish Smith, like it's kind of a mid trade. Now, I think Washington won this deal. You let me know what you think, but you know, these are the types of trades that are going on. And if the Sixers can sign Tucker, I'll be very happy. I'll be happy. If you guys want to call into the show, 508-924-3784. We're about to get back to the lines in a second. Shout out to everybody in the house, man. J Abs with the $5 donation says, trade Matisse for Eric Gordon now. Matisse is legit. Version of Ben, period. Matisse legit is the reason why we lost Game 7 against the Hawks. I disagree with that last part, but I mean, you know, Matisse is a guy that needs to improve. Sixers fans are frustrated and tired of watching the same thing and watching him not improve upon his jump shot. And, you know, it's going to be tough for the Sixers to trade for Eric Gordon now, given the salary and given the fact that they moved Danny Green's contract. I don't know if there's a way financially possible that the Sixers could get a guy like Eric Gordon. So he might be out of the picture. We heard rumors that Houston, you know, didn't like any of the offers they received. So if they want to keep Eric Gordon and keep paying him, I mean, that's on them. John Wall agreed to a buyout. He's going to the Clippers. So, I mean, maybe they try to move Eric Gordon, but I don't know if the Sixers can get that done now. I don't know if they can get that done now. But we'll see. But how are we feeling, man? James Harden opting out. Like, a lot of people were down on Harden. I get it. There's a lot of questions, but, you know, what is the better route if you're not happy with us bringing Harden back? I don't know if there is one. All right, let's go to the 818. 818 on the line. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, bro?
Hey, what's up, man?
Ain't nothing. I just wanted to say shout out to Harden for saving his reputation with Philly fans. You know what I'm saying? That was a good job for him.
Yep.
A very good job. Moving forward, I want to say Tobias Harris needs to stop getting talked about so bad. To be honest, he played the best in the playoffs. Doc didn't do a good job utilizing him. He had a bunch of mismatches. He should have been getting the ball more, but we were so focused on getting hard and integrated into the offense. But just looking at real basketball, that was what was going on. Tobias had the best series, bro.
I think he played well too, man.
He played very well. So I don't like him getting like just in the trade for some pieces that we probably still gonna have to build on for years to come. While we got a core like this, I want to keep it together for the first time and not break everything up, and everybody can understand their real rules. We're going to get a better version of Harden this year. You feel me? That if you play basketball, you understand that you can't work out on a leg like that. You feel me? You got to give him a fair shake. Let him get a full workout in. I think he's going to come back better. And we're going to still see a better version of the Sixers. And I just want to propose a something, because I'm having talks with a bunch of Philly dudes. You know what I'm saying? I want Philly blood on our team, bro. I want to see like Dion Waiters, a Morris twin. I want to see that, like some Philly dudes on the team. It's going to bring, you talking about aggression, you talking about passion. We going to see that if we get some people actually from the city, bro, that actually want to play for the team. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to do something that actually makes sense one time, actually listen to the fans. I feel like we can do something like that. And he just slept on. It's a bunch of slept on players that don't really get talked about. But when I see him hooping, and I know like these dudes still got it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but
yeah, it's true. And to your point, I think that I think one of those guys would be feasible now, based off what we can afford. So I think it could be available.
Yeah, for sure. I've seen it. It's a game coming up in Philly. Dion Waiters and Kevin Durant, and they're gonna be hooping. Y'all can go check it out. Y'all can see my man Dion. He's still going crazy. Just talk to him. So but look, so they moving forward, man. We going to see what's going on. We going to still be top 5 in the Eastern Conference. I like the trade that just happened. We gonna get PJ Tucker. I think we need another center, and I think we need not even a top wing. We just need somebody that can, you feel what I'm saying, get a bucket in transition and run the floor, bro. We don't even need that much, because we still maximizing everything around Embiid, bro. So all the other pieces, it's not. We just needed to do. We need y'all to not. We needed to hold it together long enough so we don't gotta tell Embiid to come save the game. That's it. That's all we need.
Yeah. Hey, appreciate the call, man. I mean, he makes good points. Sixers. I mean, they need another guy that can shoot, guy that can move the game in transition. Guy who's more athletic for sure, can rebound, because you bring in a guy like PJ Tucker, but you still need more athleticism, right? And I think that's what we lack next to Joel Embiid. Tobias Harris is good for his role, and I do think he's a decent player. I think he gets a lot of hate, but of course the contract doesn't really match the production. But we do need more athleticism, right? Look how many times we got out rebounded in that Heat series. I mean, we were just getting harassed by guys like PJ Tucker. We need guys who want it, man. Rebounding, a lot of it is just hustling, A lot of it is just going down, getting dirty with it. And we need some of those players, man. We need guys who will, kick people in the gear. And shout out to J Abs, man. I think that PJ Tucker's a great piece also because playing with James Harden, he knows his tendencies. He knows, how to get under his skin if he's not playing up to par. You don't think PJ Tucker, if he was on our team in that Heat series, would have came over and nudged James Harden and told him, yo, you got to step it up. Even if there's a game where maybe Joel Embiid's not getting down in the hole enough, right? not getting down in the block, settling for jump shots. You don't think PJ Tucker's going to come over and let him know? I know he will. I know he will. And you just have to have guys that want it. Doc Rivers, I'm not going to blame him for that in a second round series. There's things I do blame Doc Rivers for. But these guys got to want it themselves. And, they got to come back ready to go. But we still need flexibility. So, I'm putting my full faith in Daryl Morey. I'm putting my faith in Daryl Morey. Once again, he has inherited a mess. People love to just, give these sparked reactions. The fact of the matter is Daryl Morey is trying to clean up the mess and also make us ready for the moment. And I think he's doing what he can this offseason so far. J-Abs with a $20 donation. Thank you, my man. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Says, to be honest, the only good trade I see is Matisse and Tobias for Harrison Barnes, Rashawn Holmes, Josh Jackson, and a second-round pick. Be happy to see Rashawn back. Overall, I think we should keep Toby and make him run at small forward with Tucker at power forward. I don't know if you can make Tobias a 3. I don't think you can do that again. I think Tobias is a 4. I think what you need to do is get a more athletic wing. Maybe bring PJ off the bench. But, man. I mean, Harrison Barnes is definitely talked about right now. The thing is, Harrison Barnes is also overpaid. Maybe he's a better fit, right, other than Tobias Harris. Maybe you bring Harrison Barnes in and then move PJ Tucker to the 4. Maybe that would be a better fit. So it's definitely something to think about. It's definitely something to think about. And back to the rumor, if the Kings indeed are interested in Tobias Harris based off their, depth at the guard position, maybe they're trying to add a more experienced forward, even though they already have Harrison Barnes. Maybe they want to add a guy like Tobias to play, with Sabonis. It could be an interesting option. It could. But we'll have to wait and see. We're almost at 300 likes, guys. Hit that like button for your boy. Once again, follow the Instagram page at Philly Take with RB. Follow me on Twitter at RB Philly Take. Let's go back to the lines. We'll get a couple more in. Appreciate everybody being in here, man. Let's go to the 845. 845. What's going on? Yo.
Yo, RB.
What's going on?
How are you, man? How you doing?
Fantastic. How are you?
I'm good, man. It's funny. I live out here in New York, and everybody was so, confident that they were going to get DeJounte Murray, to be paired up with Jalen Brunson.
It's blind hope, brother. It's blind hope.
Yeah, when the tweet came out that he went to Atlanta, all the Knicks fans at my local park were like, oh, man. But I'm so freaking happy right now, man. James Harden forcing his way out of Houston, forced his way out of Brooklyn, and now it finally seems like he wants to make a home here in Philadelphia while making the team better surrounding him and Joel.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Absolutely. I mean, it's the best thing we could have hoped for right now, right?
Like literally. I think that Tobias is going to stay, although I wouldn't be completely surprised if he gets traded or Matisse or Korkmaz. But the thing with Matisse, man, is I feel like if he's a damn good defender, obviously, right? But you got to at least have a 3-point jump shot with that. You know what I mean? You at least got to be a 3-and-D player if you're gonna go that route.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I'm a big Matisse guy, but at this point, like I said, we have championship expectations, right? We want to get above that level to where we have had, been denied the last couple of years, 4 or 5 years. We need everybody to contribute. And when Daryl Morey was interviewed after the DeAnthony Melton trade, he said, we saw in the playoffs, we need more guys that can contribute on both sides. And it's just not feasible anymore, to not shoot a jump shot. You have to get better, man.
Yeah, and what else? Oh, back to the Doc Rivers. I actually think Doc Rivers is a good coach. The only thing that I'm not a real big fan of is that he doesn't really develop the young players that often. He doesn't give them any chances. I love Isaiah Joe. I think that when he was starting for a little bit, I think it was last season he was starting a little bit. I think he did great.
I love him, man, and that's I agree with you. That's my biggest gripe. That's my biggest gripe on Doc is that he will not give the young guys a chance. But I mean, you have to, man. You have to adapt. I mean, we have guys that can play here. Look at the trend of the league, man. You have to give them a shot.
Yeah. Last thing I'll say, because I know you got a lot of callers. The last thing I can say is freaking Daryl Morey is just like he came into the Sixers front office. He had a Ben Simmons issue he had to fix. He had an Al Horford issue that he had to address.
Yep.
And now, he's making moves to sign PJ Tucker and to sign, potential other free agents. I think also, James Harden's going to get a full season under his belt with this team. He's going to know what works and what doesn't work with Joel Embiid, and vice versa. I think this season is going to be a really good season for the Sixers. I'm really excited.
Yeah, I agree 100%, man. What was your name again? Where are you coming in from? New York, right?
Yeah, I'm coming from New York. I'm Hayden. I'm a member channel.
Awesome, man.
Channel member.
Awesome. All right, cool, man. Yeah, I wanted to keep you in mind, especially coming from New York. You can keep us gauged on those New York fans because I know they're hurting right now.
Oh yeah, it's funny. They're behind me right now, giving some faces.
I love it, man. I love it. Hey, appreciate the call, Hayden. Shout out to him, man. Yeah, I agree with him. Again, like Daryl Morey has inherited a mess, and he's cleaning it up little by little. He got rid of a guy that wouldn't play basketball. He got James Harden and got him to re-sign at a lower value. So I'm happy with where we're at, man. Also, some other news that just I see here on Twitter. Patty Mills declining an option for $6.2 million. Now, this was a guy I talked about in one of my free agency videos. And everybody said, oh, well, he's going to accept his option. Well, here we go. Patty Mills is a free agent. He doesn't want to stay with that Nets team. He sees what's going on. He sees the trend. He sees the trend. If the Sixers could get a guy like Patty Mills, I don't know if it'd be possible. Depends what he's looking for. Maybe he's looking for more after having a quality season. But, hey, I mean, Patty Mills on a 2-year deal, 10, 12 million. I mean, I would take Patty Mills. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? I like it, man. I like it. All right, we'll go 2 more callers. Let's go to the 919. James. James, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, RB? You and Eastwood, Romp, and the guy with the little raspy voice, he's funny as heck. You guys do a great job.
Thank you, man.
You was asking about what a better fit with us. I think a better fit with us would have been Bobby Portis. He's asking for the same money as PJ. He's more athletic, and he gives us more size. We're one of the smallest teams in the league, so we definitely need more size. And that's my first point on who I'd rather have between PJ Tucker in the field. If anybody from the field, I'd rather have Bobby Portis. And as far as giving us a chance to keep the team together, that's what I'd rather do, because it seems like we had the team together for really 2 years. It was really built around Ben instead of being built around Joel. Now we finally built it around Joel. You got to remember that we took the Heat to 6 games when Joel was hurt. Imagine if Joel was doing better, or we had somebody that could protect Joel the right way. So instead of having all these guards funneled to him and expecting him to clean up the mess that our guards create. And I guess that's about it, man. You have a good day, brother. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, man. Appreciate the take. Yeah, so in terms of the alternative option, I said, what is a better alternative than James Harden? That's kind of what I was asking. Bobby Portis, I would love him on this team. He just, again, earlier declined his option and will be a free agent. I don't know if we'll be able to afford him, but I'm sure it's a guy that, you're looking into if you're Daryl Morey. But I do agree, if Joel Embiid's healthy, we probably win that series. Problem is, Joel Embiid continually gets hurt, and one of the main reasons is because he needs more support. He needs more help. He needs another guy that can take the brunt off his shoulder. James Harden didn't do that, and everybody else came up short as well. So, we have to play better as a team. And And I think you got to make these upgrades. I think you need guys that can, help push this into motion here. So it's kind of how I'm feeling, man. We'll go. There's 2 more on the line. Hunter, what's going on? 607. 607, what's going on?
How you doing, man?
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, nothing much. 1 sec. I got a little list for you. It won't take long. All right. So first of all, I think PJ is a dog, just like you. I think the people that are saying that would be a bad signing are kind of crazy for that.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah, you were talking about Cam Reddish earlier.
Mm-hmm.
How would you feel about us signing? Do you think that's a good signing for us, or do you think a different wing would be a better option?
It would have to be a trade. But if there's a way to pull off Cam Reddish, if he's actually being shot by the Knicks, I would take him in a heartbeat. I also like TJ Warren as well on a discounted deal.
Yeah, me too. And then what do you think is the biggest factor for us this upcoming season, aside from Embiid's health, of course, because, if he's down, we're down. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is Harden getting back to himself, and not looking like he's out of gas. He needs to be healthy, he needs to be in shape, and hopefully he's not dealing with any lingering injuries. If Embiid and Harden are at full health, I mean, I think we could be a really, really lethal team, man.
Yeah, man, me too. I went to my first Sixers game when Embiid came back and put on the mask this year. That shit was lit. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to work.
No, you're good. Yeah. It's always a good vibe, man. So.
Oh, yeah. It was insane.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward to good games this year, man. So we just got to get better.
Agreed.
All right, man. Appreciate the call. And we'll go one more. We'll cap it off with, let's see, 215. 215, what's going on?
Yeah, now, me personally, I like the James Harden opting out of his deal, but I feel like we need to explore more options. We need to, I like the P.J. Tucker pickup. I would love to have P.J. Tucker. I feel like he's a dog. I think we need P.J. Because every year in the playoffs, I feel like the Sixers get played physical. They get their heart taken.
Yeah.
And they can't do anything about that.
Exactly.
So my thing with PJ is like, PJ going to come in, he's going to play with that intensity. He's going to get the Sixers everything they need. But I also feel like that we need to explore other options and put shooters around James Harden. I don't think Harden played terrible as everybody think he did, but I don't think people understand that when Harden got to the lane and the lane got collapsed, and every time he kicked the ball out, it was nobody there to knock down the open three.
That's true.
Like, Tobias wasn't a spot-up shooter. Matisse Thybulle was in the other corner. Nobody was respecting that three. And Maxey got hot at the right time, but it was like, if Maxey wasn't knocking it down, who was knocking down the shot? Nobody.
You're right.
We didn't have no consistency off the bench. And, people don't see that. Like, I love Harden. I don't think Harden is washed. I just think that Harden is doing the same exact thing that he did in Houston. I think he just do it in less shots now. Like, if you go back and you watch James Harden when he was in Houston, Harden was, he was putting up 40 points, but he was taking 30 shots while doing it. So wasn't nobody really seeing that Harden was shooting like 12 for 30, but he was getting to the line 18 times.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. Yeah, he's got to be more aggressive. He's got to be physical and get to the line. And I do feel like the NBA kind of went against Joel and James because of all the free throws they were, racking up early on. But I agree. He doesn't have to be the same kind of Harden. And if he can just knock down his shots, I don't think he's washed either. I think he's got to prove it this year, but I think he needs to be healthier. I think that's the main thing.
I agree. I think he needs to come to camp in shape, actually ready to play and not looking like the James Harden that was trying to force his way out of Houston.
Yeah, I
definitely agree with that, but I do feel like we need to add some more shooters. And I think we need to get Tobias out of there because Tobias can't spot up. But I love Tobias when he takes them little guys down in the paint and he abused them with that turnaround jump shot. I think Tobias got that all day, but he's just inconsistent. So
yeah, I agree.
I think there's a lot of moves that need to be made, but I think we need to start by definitely putting some shooters around James Harden at some point. And I think Embiid is too big and he's too talented to stand around the three-point line. I think Doc needs to keep him in a block and tell him to stay down there.
I agree 110% on that, man. 110%.
Yeah, for some reason, I don't know, I guess Doc just don't want to tell him that, but I'm kind of a little sick of Doc anyway because I've watched every game and I just watched Doc let so many leads get blown. It's like I feel like he don't play Harden and Embiid at the same time enough. I feel like he don't run enough pick and rolls with those guys. Like, at this point, I'm just ready for Sam Cassell to coach the team. And I feel like we're going to miss out on another good coach by sitting around and lollygagging with another bad coach again.
Yep. Yay. Appreciate the call, man. I agree 100%, man. Sam Cassell might be next in line. That caller made a lot of good points, man. A lot of good points. I want to hear from you guys in the chat. We still have 5:30 up in here, man. Appreciate all the callers, by the way. You guys have been killing it, as always. If you have not yet, hit that thumbs up for me. And be sure to subscribe, man. Is this the hot seat Doc Rivers year? Is Doc Rivers on the hot seat? If the Sixers don't make it past the second round, will Doc retain his job? Let me know. What do you guys think in the chat, man? We'll shout out some people who have been in here. Who's been in here the entire show, man? Perry says one more caller. Should we go one more caller? What do you guys think? I thought the last call was pretty good. I thought the last caller was pretty good. He made some good points. Should we go one more? Definitely need spot up shooters. What's going on, Rare? Go Birds. What's going on? Let's shout some people out in the chat. Shout out to J-Abs as well, man. Channel members. Shout out to all the members. Shout out to the new members. Appreciate everybody supporting the channel. Let's see. Speed Demon says Doc Rivers has been on the hot seat all his life. Sheesh. Sheesh. Philly's Finest says, I've been here and I'm at work. You need to put this on Apple Podcasts. Well, it's interesting that you guys say that because all of our episodes, videos, and live streams are put onto Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever else you get your shows. So, hey, if you're going to work or whatever, or you're on a road trip, you know, you can listen to the show, audio format. And if you guys do go over there, leave me a review, man. It definitely helps the channel. Definitely helps the channel. So shout out to everybody in the show, man. Nigel, what's going on, man? Brad, what's going on? Shout out to the new subscribers, Jeff and Ryan. Greg says, I believe Sam Cassell would be a good coach. Darius says, hope you had a good birthday. Thank you, Darius. Appreciate the love, man. Appreciate that. TJ Warren would be a great pickup, says Marcus. I agree. Man says Mitchell Robinson for backup center. I don't know. I think he's a little bit out of our price range. According to what Daryl Morey said, he's going to try to really get Doc to, you know, move forward with the young guys, the Bassies of the world, right? The Paul Reeds of the world. So that's kind of, you know, where we're looking at. Now, if Andre Drummond became available and he was willing to take a discount, yeah, I would love Andre Drummond. But it seems like Daryl's kind of ticked off a little bit about the lack of use for these young guys that he's drafted. I mean, Daryl Morey's picked up some gems, man. He's picked up, you know, the Bassies, the Isaiah Jones. Yes, sir. I mean, telling you, man. We have guys here that can play. We need to give them a shot. I agree with the couple callers that have been saying that. Packy, what's going on, man? Antonio says, I called like 30 times to get my point across. Call in again and I got you. We'll go one more. Look, man, there's a ton of people on the lines. I'm trying to get to all of them, man. I love hearing everybody's takes and insight on everything. You guys are the best, man. Hayden with the $10 donation. Great channel member, man.
Yes, sir.
Let's go. It says, funny. Brunson is going to meet with Miami, Dallas, and New York. Imagine if New York doesn't sign him. Hit that like for RB. In love with the Sixers are doing. Hit that thumbs up for your boy, man. Shout out to Hayden. Yo, if the New York Knicks didn't end up with Jalen Brunson, and by the way, at, you know, being a Villanova guy, you know, I love Jalen Brunson, right? I have a lot of love for that guy. If I'm being honest, though, just my takes, for the Knicks to really go out and prioritize him like as that dude, like we're going to give him a close to max or a max contract. Is Jalen Brunson ready for that? Is he ready to be that guy? I don't know. I don't know. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. Antonio says I was the last caller, bro. Hey, see, I get to all the callers I can, man. I'm trying to get to all the callers, man. Trying my best. Trying my best. How do I feel about the Hawks trading for DeJounte? I think it's a steal of a move for them. I think the Spurs got fleeced, if I'm being honest. I know they gave up their picks, but still, Morey and Trae Young, that's an interesting backcourt, man. That's an interesting backcourt. But yeah, man. Shout out to everybody being here in the chat. Appreciate all the callers, man. A lot of good takes. A lot of breaking news. We broke it all down. James Harden, PJ Tucker. Talked about a lot of other potential free agents, a lot of news. The free agency is in less than 24 hours. So we're going to get a lot of, you know, big news coming tomorrow. A lot of moves. Obviously, the free agency market, you know, not as heavy as normal, but still pieces that you can fill and pieces that you can use to make your team better. But right now, I would expect the PJ Tucker news to come out tomorrow, and I would expect, you know, him to become a Sixer, especially after this Harden news dropped. And I don't think we're done. I think Daryl Morey has a plan. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But anyway, shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Appreciate all the callers. Hope to get a lot of consistent callers as well. It was a lot of fun, man. If you're watching this on a second time around, be sure to hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe, man. Have those notifications on. We'll continue breaking it all down as always, man. Philly Take with RB. I'm RB. Hit that like button, subscribe. Be sure to ring the bell. Follow the Instagram page at Philly Take with RB. Follow me on Twitter at RB Philly Take. We'll be over there talking more free agency stuff. Doing our thing, man. Appreciate everybody coming through. LJ, Micah, Packy, Bew, RG, Brad, Antonio, Michael. Appreciate everybody coming through to the show, man. You guys have a great rest of your night. James Harden opts out. Sixers have more flexibility. It's a good day, man. We'll keep you up to date with it all. You guys have a great one. And have a good night. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.